Doug Ford bought a $29 million private jet, which is coined as gravy plane, just last week. And then 48 hours later, he sold it when things got bad, as things exploded in Ontario. Affordability crisis, meet your brand new villain, apparently. Was this a genius pivot or elite panic? So the Ontario government quietly finalized the purchase of a used private jet, which was a 2016 Bombardier Challenger, around April 17th, 2026. And it was reported to being a total of $28.9 million. This was taxpayer funded, and Premier Doug Ford pitched this as essential
for multiple ministries.
Extensive travels, he called it, Ontario-wide, nationally, and even to the United States. And why was this essential? Because he claimed he wanted to lobby Trump tariffs.
Really disturbs me is the inconsistency with the media. If it's a multi-ministerial plane for the province, not my personal plane that the media wants to paint it out to be, which was never the case. Yes, am I going to use it? 100%. But it was for multiple ministries. We had to get down to Texas because we're fighting the tariffs. There's no one been louder in the whole world against President Trump than what I've been.
I worked with and for two premiers over 2 decades. Never needed a private jet. Like, if he's a man of the people, he can hop on economy like the rest of us.
There's no line item in that budget that says private luxury jet for the Premier of Ontario. They only reversed the decision when they got caught.
I will take responsibility. As you said, I should have been out there Friday talking to the people. The people don't want it. That's fine with me. I don't mind the scrutiny.
This was broken by Toronto Star on Friday, April 17th, and then Doug Ford's office confirmed it the same day, forcefully of course, and they defended this as being flexible and efficient means of travel compared to flying commercially. NDP's Marit Stiles called this gravy plane.
A strip club, a luxury spa, and a private jet. What do these things have in common? I would like to know from the finance minister, where was this luxury private jet in your budget? Is this one of the miscellaneous items?
And fast forward to Sunday, April 19th, 48 hours later, Ford came out to say, despite best intentions, he heard the people, and now's not the right time for this jet, unquote. So the province was forced to sell it. So this was a 48-hour cave, sort of, I heard you, but now I'm selling it back. But there shouldn't be any losses reported. How do we know this? They had to ask, are there receipts, are there auditing documents? To which he said, no, he will not be divulging those. This smells like insider favoring to Bombardier cronies, in my opinion. Shareholders, directors, whichever can be the case. Because he refused receipts despite many demands. And this, to me, smells fishy, right? And you know the saying, when something smells fishy, stay away. Well, we'll see what media pressure can be imposed on Doug Ford's office in the next few weeks. What's really interesting is CBC then reported on April 22nd that the jet wouldn't even be able to land in 90% of Ontario airports. 90%. Why? Well, you would need longer paved runways, and this jet would not be suitable for almost every airport in Ontario. So this idea that it's for domestic travel was caught to be false. But why did he fold and backpedal like this? Well, he's a populist leader well in his second majority term. But he hates looking like an elite, right? He brands himself as anti-elite, rather. And one example he cited often is Trudeau's excessive luxurious spending, which he constantly criticized former Prime Minister Justin Trudeau for. But during mid-tariffs in Canada and ongoing CUSMA negotiations of the trade deal that are with its July 1st deadline coming close, he didn't want to fuel the Ford out of touch narrative. With your rent being 10% high, he didn't want his wings to be further clipped. So, optics-wise, this was a destruction of his brand, right? $29 million would actually equal to 100 times the average Ontario citizen paying rent with the hikes that have gone higher. With that money alone, he could have housed about 1,000 Ontario families. And this is also hitting during these CUSMA tariffs that are stressing Ontario citizens even further, when voters are actually eyeing every single penny. And this means that it's quite tone deaf as a message and going against Ford's populist anti-elite brand. So is this going to be bad for him politically? Well, currently he's safe because he's in a second majority, but it will hamper his chances when there are by-elections this year, with the NDP and the Ontario Liberals weaponizing this as Ford session fuel. When we come back, we're going to talk about what's happening in Quebec and a brand new segment called Eddy's Final Cut right after this break.